Hey, it's John. Have you seen The Rise of Skywalker yet? I know I have a couple of times, and probably will go see it at least a few more times before things are all said and done. But I saw some cool stuff in the new movie. There was tons of cool stuff. And one of the cool things that I found and decided I had to make one of and model it was the Electroprod that the First Order Stormtroopers had. So I made one, and here it is. And I'm going to show you how to do it and give you the file so that you can make your own too right here today on 9142 Props and Armory. Welcome to a new angle of the workshop, and you can see behind me some different things than you typically see in most videos because the camera's facing the opposite direction now, and you can see the shelf back there and some of the projects that I worked on, including that Mandalorian helmet up at the top there that we did in the last video. And then during that last video, I mentioned the fact that I got a new laptop and was going to be doing more with 3D modeling. And I've started to do just that. After seeing The Rise of Skywalker, one of the first things that I got a hold of, my wife ordered me a copy of the visual dictionary after we saw the movie, and I decided if I'm going to start modeling and start getting serious about that and learning that, I should pick a few things out. So I got the book. I opened up to the inside cover of the book, and what do I see? The first thing is the First Order Electroprod. Getting into Fusion here, I'm going to show you what was done. I'm not going to take you through the modeling of it. I'm way far too slow on modeling, and my thought process doesn't work that quickly with it either to really sit down and do a video of me modeling much of anything yet. Down the road, though, hopefully I'll get to a little bit of that. So inside of Fusion, typically what you do with things when you're trying to replicate them is you start with an image. And we have an image of a TK holding the Electroprod here. And then what you do is you get a couple different images, hopefully, ideally from a couple different angles, 3 to 4 angles, as many as you can get, which is helpful. And then what you do is you go ahead and you create your model on top of that canvas. And that's what I did here. So here we can see in 3 dimensions on top of that 2-dimensional image that I used and that I scaled to the proper size. And the way that I scaled this is I scaled the TK to be about 6 foot tall, which is typically what you see more times than not. TKs are usually between 5'8", 5'10" for the most part. And then once you put a bucket on them and boots on them, you're close to 6 feet. So I scaled the image to make the TK 6 feet tall and then scaled the Electroprod off of that. So here we have the model. Let's get rid of that canvas so it's not quite so distracting. We have the model of the Electroprod that we can look at, that we can zoom into, and as you can see is made of a bunch of different parts. So I designed this so that it can be 3D printed, hopefully relatively easy. And there's going to be some goofs and stuff and things that aren't quite perfect and that you might have to work on a little bit to get to fit right. But I did model all these parts that are shown as different colors. So say, for example, the main body of this right here, the black part is one piece. Each one of these electrodes is a separate piece. The white piece that's trim here is a separate piece as well. And then there's a little black cover on the back here. That's a separate piece as well. And then going down through the rest of things here, each one of these sections are individual parts. The grips are separate parts. This front, the box with a meter on here is a separate part, another grip. And then we get down to the bottom, another grip at the bottom, and then the base. Now the thing that I did to make this easy, because this is a 6 foot long prop, and we want something that's durable and that's gonna stand up over time, is that I made this so that this part right here, the main part, the white shaft that's on there, is just a piece of Schedule 40 1-inch PVC. Makes it really easy. So all the parts are modeled around fitting around that as a central core to the Electroprod. But the TKs that are on there, the First Order TKs, well, this is going to be great because This will give us a secondary weapon that we can use in events where blasters are not allowed. So the whole intention of this was to be a learning experience for myself, but then after I started doing it and shared it, I said, okay, well, what I'll do then is I'll make this. I'll print one for myself and see how it comes out, and then I'll release a file so that people can go ahead and make their own. And the files will be released free. There will be a link down in the description for those so that you can have them, print your own off. And I'll probably also make the printed parts available that I can print for people too if you don't have your own printer. And I'll put that up on Etsy that you can purchase those printed parts. They'll be unfinished. You'll have to do that part yourself. So there's a look at the model. All told, to model this, it probably took me 3 or 4 hours to do that. Again, I'm not very proficient with this yet, but I learned a lot in just doing this little thing right here. So let's jump back off of the computer. We'll get into the shop. I'll show you the printed parts, and we'll get putting our first order Electroprod together. So we've got all of our pieces. We've got everything printed. They're all right here, all the parts that we're going to need. And again, to base everything and what this is all built around is built around a piece of Schedule 40 1-inch PVC pipe to make things very nice and straightforward. So parts we have, assembly is not going to be anything terribly complicated here. We have 3 grips. We have one for the top, one for the bottom, one for the top, and then one for the middle here, a base piece, a couple parts for the top, and then of course the top that has the Electroprod electrodes on there. So for the bottom here, we're going to get on one of these grips. Slide that into place, take our bottom piece. I'm not going to glue anything on or together right now because I don't really need anything to be permanent. Slide that into position. There we go. There is the bottom as it looks done. All right, next we get on the mid grip. Slide that into place. Next will be another grip here. This one going with the grip, larger part of that facing down. Slide that into place. Next is this section here. Now this part is going to have LEDs in there, and I know from the movie and seen the movie a couple times now that there's a set of 3 LEDs, I think, in each one of these windows. I haven't finished that part yet because I haven't really got a lot of good reference yet on it to kind of finalize anything, but I'll get around to doing that and rigging something up that you can put together easily and print out and put those LEDs in there a little bit further down the road. Now in these windows, one thing that I did not print because I didn't think I'd be able to print it and have it look nice is there's kind of a film or a plastic that kind of hides things a little bit on there. And for that I used a very simple thing. I had a bottle of washer fluid, a milk crate, something like that, cut a piece of that plastic out so that the length is right and the height is right to fit on the inside there. Roll that guy up in there, put it on down in there, offset your window inside so that you don't see it from any of those cutouts on the outside there. And there is that. And then final piece, top cap on that. That gets locked onto there like that. There we go. One thing left to do. And this section here, we have a couple different parts going on here. We have got the top up here, which is made of a couple different pieces. The black part is one, the white part here is another that snaps into place here. And then a little black window that goes on the back of that. And then the electrode parts there. Those I printed on my Anycubic Photon and just did a real quick rub and buff coat on there. I didn't do any post-processing on any of this stuff. It's really raw. It looks really kind of gnarly right now, but it's not terribly important for what we're doing here. It's not a finishing video. It's a, hey, we got this available, you go ahead and make it now type of thing. So the top part here, just keys onto the top there. Just locks into place there. This little guy here goes ahead and just snap fits onto the rod here. Make sure that you've got this kind of wrapped around here once too before you lock that into place, and then it will just snap into place. Slide it down to meet up with that mid grip. And with this, you do want, nope, it's that side. No, the white side goes to the back. The side with the black panel goes to the front. So we want that like that. That on that side. That to wrap around one time there like that. Snap it on. Slide it down. And there we go. Now I'm going to rotate things around a little bit so when we look at the front side here of this all put together, we don't see that on there. So that's it. Not a big deal to put this guy together. Not a tough thing to do at all. Once you're done with it, you probably want to go ahead and obviously finish up these 3D printed parts. Sanding, filler primer, paint everything, paint your pipe as well. They just make things look a little bit tighter and a little bit nicer. But for our purposes, it's good. Alright, so files are available. They are available. I will have them up on Thingiverse once this video goes up. The links to those files will be down in the description. Also some links to some of the materials I used, the filament that I used, the resin that was used, and a couple of other things will be down in the description as well. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope that you go ahead and if you do make yourself a first order TK Electroprod, that you go ahead and share those photos with me. You can do that either on Facebook at 9142 Props and Armory, or on Twitter, I'm at Jon Weger, or on Instagram as well. You can find me there also. So thanks for watching. If you have not done so yet, give this video a thumbs up. Be sure to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I really hope that you do. We got more bigger and better things coming as I start to learn more about modeling and get better at it. And we can make more cool stuff like this. If you have any suggestions of things that you would like to make, that we should make or model or build here on the channel, let me know down in the comments below as well. Would love to hear those suggestions. I've gotten a couple from you already based off of some videos and some pictures that I posted so far on a couple of other things that I'm working on modeling at the moment. So keep those suggestions coming. I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for watching. It's Jon. It's 9142 Props and Armory. Have a great week. Maybe we'll have something else up in the middle of the week. We'll see how it goes.